Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Mountain Harmony Gardening. I'm Kristen, and today I'm going to show you what I'm doing in my garden. I only have about 2, maybe 3 more weeks before I actually can start planting. It's still getting down into the 40s, so I really need to get on cleaning up the garden and getting ready for spring. I have started on a few things, like I have our cool weather crops, our peas and our kale and our Swiss chard all planted. I did that on the video last Friday. And in between this week, the other day, I got this whole entire bed ready and I dug in the rabbit litter. I removed as much of the mulch as I could. I cleaned out all the pockets. So you can see the snapdragon here looks really good. I was surprised it came back. The yarrow on that side, along with another snapdragon and some more yarrow, all came back. But I wanted to make sure that I got this done. I only have one more garden bed to get ready, and it is the long bed. And I've been kind of putting this off. I don't know why, but I have. So I need to clean out all of the pockets that run along all of here. And I also need to remove as much of the mulch as I can, because this is where the roly-polies like to live, and that's what kind of attracts them, is because they do eat that. But I don't want anything in here to attract them. And so I'm going to remove all the mulch, and I have my clay buster right here. Here's a bag that I need to dig in, and hopefully that'll loosen up the soil even a little bit more. I couldn't get this last year because Lowe's was not carrying it. Don't know why. Thank goodness they're carrying it this year. Not sponsored. But if you have clay soil like I do, this is definitely good. So Donnie's going to help me real quick, and we are going to completely rake off all of the mulch, which can go right onto the grass or into the pathways on that side, clean out all the pockets, and get it ready for planting. Donnie and I got this bed already. Sock seems to love to be in this one, laying down right there with us, getting dirty. So we dug in the clay buster, and then I went back over it with one of the stiffer rakes and kind of broke it up a little bit and then smoothed it out. And then we went back and we filled in all of the pockets that we could. We ran out of soil. We'll have to get some more. And we also filled in the pockets all around this garden as well. And you'll notice that there is a color difference between this bed, and that bed. And the reason these ones look a little bit more yellow is because of the rabbit litter. So that's why these ones are not the same color as that one. It's because we didn't put any rabbit litter up in this bed. I knew that I was going to have to do a little bit more to it than just adding rabbit litter and compost and such to it. It needed to be turned over and everything. And this one I didn't turn over very much. I just dug it in a little bit. This one we had to go down a lot further, and I normally don't like to do that because it disturbs the worms, but it was needed. Now I'm going to show you up on the deck the next task that I'm working on. The next task that I've been working on is I have been up potting the tomatoes, the tomatillos, and the peppers. And my huckleberries just aren't large enough, and the roots aren't coming out the bottom yet. So what I'm looking for is there's a little bit of roots coming out the bottom of this. Here you can see it much better on the tomato. And that's what I was looking for to wait to up pot these. Now, the way that you plant these is a little bit different. Even though they're all in the nightshade family, I do this a little bit different. So for the pepper, and these epic 6 cells are really cool because see this big hole at the bottom? It makes it really easy to just pop them out. And when you take them out, do not grab them by the leaves. The leaves will rip off. You actually want to hold them by the stem gently. Don't pull too hard. Just push it out as much as you can. So I've already got a little bit of soil in this one. And you want to hold it about level. And you want to get some soil. We saved a little bit from all the planting we've been doing. And you just want to fill it in. And then you want to firm it down. That way they stay standing up. There we go. And make sure, like I have all of these tags, make sure that you label them as well. Now, for the tomato. Another thing I want to show you is I just bought these, and they're a little bit more stiff than like These ones keep breaking. So I bought something that I know that's going to last a little bit longer. They're not as tough as the Epic 6Ls, but these will last a little bit longer. Now for tomatoes, you can actually plant them really deep. Look at all that root growth in there. That's great. So I'm putting this all the way down at the bottom, and I'm going to cover it up to right about here. And the reason that I'm doing that is because with tomatoes, you can plant them deep, and all along this fuzzy stem, they will grow roots. So this helps them get really established. So I will be doing that again when I pot them up into the ground or plant them into the ground, and they will be just fine. All right, I'm probably gonna have to go get some soil out of the garden. All right, so there's the tomato. Make sure I'm putting the plant tag in it so I know what it is. And for the tomatillos, you want to do the same thing as you did with your peppers. Even though they've got a fuzzy stem, and I've heard that you can plant them deep, I never have, because I've always been concerned. It's kind of like a controversial thing. It's like, does it work? Does it not work? I don't want to risk losing my tomatillos. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm actually going to fill this up with soil. It's not much left. Let's see if I can get it out. Yep. Right onto the deck. That's why I do this on the deck, is because it's easy to just do that. So you go ahead and do the same thing. You pop it out. And then I kind of move the soil around a little bit because I want to plant it in. And then just give it a little bit more soil, firm it down. There we go. And then label it. And I'm going to show you over here all the peppers and all the tomatoes and all the tomatillos that I already have planted up. So like here are the tomatoes in this area right here, and you can see that their first seedling leaves, the first leaves that they get are starting to fall off, and they're getting their true leaves. Like look at the black cherry tomatoes. They've already done that. And these ones are starting to. These are the Kellogg ones here, and these are the spoon tomatoes. I had a mishap with the spoon tomatoes. I was trying to hand some of them to Donnie, and we accidentally dropped the 6L. So we only got about half of them, and they're kind of stunted. They didn't get off to a really good start, but I only need one plant. So I have 2 extra, which is good. And then with the peppers, you can see that they're starting to get their true leaves. These lemon peppers this year, the new ones I'm trying, are doing really good. But for the huckleberries, this is what I was telling you about. They're kind of small, so I'm not going to pot them up yet, and you can't really see their roots coming out the bottom. And also, within pepperoncinis, they're taking a long time to get going too, but that's just the nature of these types of plants. Peppers may take a little while to get going, but I still have about 3 weeks to go before I can plant these out into the garden. And even then, if I have to wait an extra week, it's still okay. They'll be fine in these larger pots, especially considering that I used potting soil. The next task that I need to get done to be ready for spring completely and finish my garden chores today is I need to plant all these plants here, except for the rosemary. That's going somewhere else. But I've been having it just sit over here so I remember to water it. But this has been my mint and my strawberry pots for quite a while because I can't put either of these in the ground here because of the root weevils. I didn't think anything ate mint. Root weevils eat mint, and then they absolutely love strawberries. So it's very hard to get strawberries to grow and mint, if you can believe that. I've actually had to put in a pot so stuff stops eating it. So what I'm going to actually do is I've decided, because most of the strawberries died back this year in this planter, that I'm going to move this to the back. And that way I want to get some more of these larger pots of strawberries. It'll give them a little bit more room in this part of the container. So you can see, like, they died. There's only, even though there's still some roots left, and there's a couple over here, yeah, they're definitely done. And I have some of the mint coming back from last year, but I wanted to make sure that I had mint because I use a lot of mint. Mint tea is my favorite, and I think I've said that before when we've done episodes on teas and stuff. Ooh, wow, look at that root. Smells like mint. All right. Move our little decoration out of there. And what I can do is I can kind of break this up a little bit, try not to disturb that one mint plant I do have in there. And I can go ahead and just put the soil right into here. That way I have plenty of space for the plants. You just want to dig down a little bit. And it also breaks it up a little bit to give the roots a chance to get going. I like these new clear pots because you can actually see the roots in there. Now you can see that's pretty root bound. So you just want to kind of scratch up the sides, kind of break up the bottom a little bit. Oh, smells so much like mint. Even the roots, it's amazing. And then you just want to put it in there, pull some of the soil back, put a little bit extra back in if you need to, and firm it down. That way the roots are making good contact with the soil and you don't have to worry about like any air pockets or anything like that. Now for the strawberry, you want to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to take out all of the trash. Okay, I want to dig it up a little bit. Whew. What did we put in the bottom of this? Oh my goodness, I think there's like a board down the bottom that I forgot about. Yeah, there's definitely something down there. I think so we didn't use quite as much soil. We kind of filled it up with the hugelkultur. And I'd forgotten about that. So, same idea. You can see it's not quite as root bound. And you want to kind of twist it in there. Get this one down good. And this one's going to stick up a little bit just because of that hugelkultur that we have going in there. So it's okay if you mound up the soil around it. It'll break down a little bit over time and it'll get in there a little bit better. All right. So there we go. Now we have the strawberry planted. I just need to get a couple more for this barrel, and then I'm going to plant this one right here, and we'll be all ready to go. The other task that I've been keeping up on daily is I do have some flowers out here, and I left these out overnight because I think that they've definitely gotten used to being outside. But you want to deadhead your flowers often. So this one looks pretty good because I did it yesterday. And then just need to take care of this one right here. And then if you come over to the pansies, you can see that when they start to fade, you definitely want to deadhead them as well. So I've been doing this every single day for all of my flowering plants that I have outside. And it keeps them blooming longer. So just come out, and if they're looking a little sad, go ahead and just pinch them off, and then you'll get new blooms. The other task that I want to show you, I'm going to take you over there right now. The other task that I need to do in my garden is I need to plant the hosta. I've had it outside as long as I've had the strawberries and the mint outside, so I know that it'll be fine through the cold weather. I had talked about probably saving this tree that's back here, but this tree is so close to our pine tree that we really don't want another tree right there. So I decided that I'm going to go ahead and take it out. Even though it is doing really good, I've decided we can't stay. So I'm going to go ahead and just clip it off down here at the bottom. And close those. Hi, cat. What are you doing? If you hear meowing, it's Sox. Unfortunately, we had to take Lola to the vet today, and she's inside recovering because she was throwing up all over the house, and we didn't know what was wrong with her. Luckily, she's going to be okay, but she's inside recovering today, so she's not outside kitty today. So thanks for all the good thoughts from all of my friends out there who knew about that, because it really helped. All right. This was to mark where one of the plants were that I wanted to see if it would come back or not, the hibiscus, and it didn't. So I can go ahead and remove that. But I know that I kind of want to place it like right about here, because they'll still get like a little bit of sun, but mostly shade because they really love the shade. And that's a good idea, is like just leave them in their pots, place them where you think, and go, oh, that doesn't look right. Maybe I should move it over here, and you can move them around. But I know that I want it right here, so that's where I'm going to go ahead and dig a hole and get it planted. Now our soil over here is lots and lots of clay. And I don't amend it a whole bunch because I did when I first started this garden. You can see it looks completely different and it's kind of sticky. Yeah, that's just our soil in the Rocky Mountains. It's not exactly the best. So if you want, you can always put in some soil into the hole that you're digging for your new plants to kind of give them a good start. But you want to mix it with your native soil so that they get off to a good start. No, I am not digging a hole for you, Socks. Look at her, I think she thinks I'm digging a hole for her. All right, so that should be pretty good. I can go ahead. And you want to kind of squeeze your pots. Turn your plant upside down. Whew. Wow, that one's in there really tough. There we go. This one is growing out the bottom. There we go. See that root system? Yeah, that's why it was so tough. You want to scratch these ones up just a little bit, kind of loosen it up. That way they don't keep like growing in a spiral like you see. That way they start to reach out and have a better root system. All right, now I just kind of break up the soil because it's got a lot of clumps in it because of that clay. So I just kind of break it up and then I pull it back and I make sure to push it down in there. Whoop, there's a worm. Even though we have clay soil, we still have a lot of worms. And then firm it down. Kind of spread out the rest of the soil. I need to remulch this bed, so I'm not too worried that it's going on top of the mulch. And there we go. And then, since our water is still not on, I'll just have to get the watering can and I'll give it a good drink. The other task that I have been trying to keep up on about every other day or so is getting rid of the weeds. The neighbors next door have grass against the fence and it likes to come through, and sometimes it ends up in our path as well. So I try to keep up on all the weeding and try to get to them while they're small because they're much easier to pull out of the ground. The wind is starting to pick up. I definitely think that there's a storm coming in. And one of the kind of like chores I've been putting off was putting an extra stake for the pear tree because the pear tree had started to lean over when the other one hadn't. And I was like, okay, that only takes a few minutes. Just go ahead and do it. So we did this. We hung the bird feeder. We fixed our welcome sign that hangs on this house. So just like a few little things that I was like, oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I just did it yesterday because I knew they would only take me a couple minutes. And it was so satisfying to finally say, hey, it's done. So definitely do those little chores that just take a few minutes. Even if you come home from work and just do like one thing, it'll really help out a lot. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully this video just kind of taking you around the garden and showing you my last minute things that I'm kind of cleaning up in the garden and getting finished helped you out. Let me know what you guys are doing this time of the year in your garden. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Happy gardening, everyone.